the point that I'm over it. I mean, life is ebbs and flows, right? Isn't that what you find out over? And you have to have a mindset every day of like, good things are going to happen to me. Good things are going to happen to me. And unfortunately, things out of our control happen. And then, you can't
Correct.
you can't let it bottle up inside, but
Happiness for most people, I believe, is a choice. I believe
it,
people that have drama in their lives,
they
everyone
want it.
says, what do you talk about when you hang out with all these housewife friends of yours? And I say, housewives. And then they're like, wow. And I'm like, no, wow. I don't want to be friends with these people. It's not enjoyable in the real world. It's actually drama. There's a reason these people are chosen for the TV. They have this drama, most of them, in their real life. And I'm like, that's not how I live my life. I'm like very chill and calm. It's not fun. So I
One,
believe happiness is a choice. So sometimes who needs to feel the feels? I'm going to turn the dial to happiness today. And I'm going to do my job and I'm going to be happy. I got 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 eyes. And thank God
thank
today's not
God.
the day that I'm sick.
Oh,
Tomorrow could be the
I'm
day.
sorry.
Yeah, I pray to God that I do not get a diagnosis tomorrow. And short of that, I'm not going to be the person there on my deathbed. God, how do we get so deep? I'm not going to be the person there on my deathbed that says, Jesus fucking Christ, I wasted so many days and years. Oh, sorry. I wasted so many days and years just unhappy. Man, I had it so good. I was youthful and young and vibrant. And I mean, look at this gorgeous face with these gorgeous blue eyes. I should have been living a fabulous life. Now I'm doing that right now. So when I am there meeting my maker, I'll be like, girl, there's nothing more you could have done. You had a great life, you know?
What are you going to do when you find out God's a man?
What am I gonna do when I find out God is a man? Are you getting religious on me here? Because that's where you lose me. I just say this ain't Salt Lake with the religious music in the
Well, you're
background.
Jewish, so Christ doesn't come. I guess you don't know yet. It's-
Correct.
all right. Um,
Correct.
I did like parts of this episode. Penny was actually okay. One last thing, and then I'll love you and leave you. I loved the scene with Penny and the girls, and it was the first time that anyone, I think, well, they're starting to put Katie and Ariana in their places a little bit more. But I loved, and Penny is like a chef consultant or whatever, so she's in the hiring. Penny sat down, took control, and those two, they were like. So annoyed. It's like, how about we get into a confrontation with Penny? Like, let's work on that.
And
That
I
was a good.
also that was a good scene. And I also love when like Katie shows up. I'm like, this is very similar to the scenario that I talked about where Katie gets in her broken down car and drives through Hollywood. The tires falling off and gets there to something about her at 5 a.m. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, my life. Shit is falling out of her pocketbook, her purse. And she turns on the lights and she's like, Jesus, no one cleaned this up last night. And she opens something about her. And Ariana gets in the car and you think she's her black car that picks her up. You're like, oh, she has a driver now, whatever. She's on her way to meet Katie. She's a little late. She zooms past something about her just as Katie pulls herself
Mhm.
together and puts on a respectable shirt because she's still wearing the shirt with a Cheeto crust from last night. And she heads down to that studio for a photo shoot before she gets whisked off to her next gig. It's kind of like very similar to that when she's having this book cover shoot at her house and Katie shows up and she's like, you look gorgeous, great, great. So they like that's the world we live in now. Let's just all stand by and applaud Ariana. And I'm not taking anything away from her. I just think as human beings, eventually we have this scene coming up where Lala says, I never saw anyone get cheated on and become God. We don't know what she's talking about. They all say we're misreading that scene, but I just think eventually. I mean, that's why Tom is like, I'm fucking over her. Like, I did this and this and that. It's worked out just fine for her. It's worked out just fine for all of you.
Just fine. Okay, my dear.
I mean, can you
Leaving.
go get a major scandal in your life? Can you cheat and blow up your whole life and blow up this show and blow it all up so I can ride on your coattails while you are going through it? And I'll just be like, yeah, fuck Sarah. Hey,
Well,
me for another
yeah,
ad?
get your coins. It would be with John Hamm or Bill Maher. So I don't know. Stay tuned.
You're doing that. I'm going for Bieber or Efron. I'll start with those two. So,
Oh, that was Kristen Cavallari's. Because I think you have a good shot with Kristen
oh,
Cavallari's.
yeah.
Yeah.
Add that to the list. He might have to bump out Efron. I mean, if I can only have two, I'll take Kristen Cavallari's new guy and I'll take the Biebs.
Or you and Meek Mill, maybe. I could see you with a rapper.
I'm not opposed to, oh,
You'd be at one of Diddy. Do you have somebody coming up on your show that was at one of Diddy's freak
no,
offs?
I was gonna say Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith is he's in the Louis Vuitton world now. I'll take a little Jaden Smith in my life,
I think
baby.
it's up.
I'll take some Jaden
Good.
Smith if you don't
Okay.
mind. There you go.
So
I'll
glad
take
you weren't at
four.
one of those Diddy freak offs. Oh my God.
No, I got nothing. I got nothing on Diddy. Oh, I do have someone coming up on my show. We talked about Diddy.
Good or
Yeah.
bad, just tease us with that, and then we got to go.
He dibbles and
I know.
dabbles. I say Mauricio likes to dibble and dabble throughout the years. Diddy likes to dibble and dabble, babes. What do you want, Sarah? I don't make the rules. I'm
Well,
just here to
that
report
part's
them.
fine, but he's abusive to people, allegedly.
I
That part ain't
heard.
fine. That part ain't fine. And you don't pay Cassie out in 24 hours. If she ain't got dirt on you, you don't want out there. He can name it any way he wants to name it, but
Do we know how much Cassie got?
no, she'll never tell. I mean, I'm sure that was part of the agreement,
I
but he's
mean,
going down. He's going down anyway. This is game over. I mean, people have just come out of the woodwork and more will, I'm sure.
if
And
Cassie could have brought him down with like one sentence, I think that's like 2025. I think that's what it costs to get a 10 million. I don't know.
oh, way more than 10.
I think like 25.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Shit, I wish I had some
Right.
damaging dirt on someone. When it comes to like stuff that's gonna, I don't.
Not where, oh my
Speaking
God,
of
that
which,
poor
by the
woman
way,
endured a horrible abuse, allegedly. Oh, you don't want that.
no,
Mm-mm.
I don't. No, I just meant like dirt. I wish I had dirt on someone. By the way, Julie Chrisley, speaking of jail, has come out. Savannah has read her letters from her. She
Oh,
misses Todd severely. She's never been away from him this long. So apparently when we all thought Julie was captured all those years, like captive and like blink twice if you're okay, Julie. Apparently she loved the man. I'm having some controversial
those were
thoughts.
sweet. Those were sweet letters, actually.
Right. Oh, I gotta read them.
I mean, I'm not sure that I believe that she's not still Stockholm, but I do, but I think I think she's in love with him, for sure. Right? It's like
Listen.
it's like Ruth Madoff, honey. I mean, who would stay with that? She was in love.
Oh God. In
And
love, huh?
Erica Girardi to this day, I believe, is in love. Tom is awful. I don't think she cares. I think she's in love with everything that Mr. Girardi did for her, who he was, what their life was. I guess he treated her son very well. She's to this. I think if it wasn't so taboo, she's still married to him.
She loved going to the Jonathan Club and having that table ready for her. Miss Girardi
Oh,
was respected. Miss
I'd
Jane
be
is
ready for that
petting
too.
the puss. Um,
Okay. Look, be sure to resubscribe to our podcast, Behind the Velvet Rope and the Sarah Fraser Show. Apple did a whole reshift. They eliminated a lot of our subscribers that weren't active. So, you guys, if you aren't subscribing to our shows, please do us a favor. You obviously love us. Thousands of you listen every week. Hit subscribe to the Sarah Fraser Show and go to Behind the Velvet Rope and do the same.
do it, man. And they did it forever.